All right. We should be live. Not sure. We're live on all of them, I think. Joni Mack is watching on, I think that's the Facebook one. Yep. Hey, guys. I wanted to do a live today on both Facebook and YouTube. Morning, everybody. Good morning. Just give a thumbs up if you're here. Just say hello, whatever you want to do. Today I want to talk about, hey, Delaney, is vitamins and keto and carnivore, how they relate. Do you get enough vitamins with keto? Do you get enough vitamins with the carnivore diet? How many vitamins are you supposed to have? Something like that. So I've done a lot of research, and I dug back into a lot of my notes, and I want to get a lot of this out there and a lot of this straight. A lot of people are, I don't know, they try to jump on all these new diets, like the carnivore, for instance. They want to jump on the new carnivore diet, not because it's a healthier way of eating, because they think they're going to lose more weight. If you totally eliminate carbohydrates, yeah, you'll probably lose more weight. Is it going to be healthy for you? I don't see it. A lot of the people like that are supportive of it say, well, the Inuits have done it forever, and they did this and they did that, and they lived on seals and caribou and fish and whales and everything else. True, that is true, and I'm not saying that you can't do well on a carnivore diet, but what I am saying is that those Inuits, they ate everything of the animal. It wasn't like they just ate the meat part, okay? So a lot of people that are doing this carnivore diet, they're only eating like burgers and ribeye and stuff like that. And they're assuming that they're getting enough vitamins and minerals to sustain their body. All right. So what I want to do today is I want to go over the vitamins and minerals and stuff that your body needs, and to find out whether you think that the carnivore diet is worth doing it for you. It's just to make a better educated guess. Okay. It's a better way of looking at it and to knowing the facts, just to decide for yourself whether you think that the carnivore diet is going to be a diet that's okay for you to do. Okay. So I'm not going to tell you to not do the carnivore diet. I'm not going to tell you to not do the ketogenic diet or not do the paleo diet. I will tell you not to do the standard American diet, the stupid diet. But let's go over some of this stuff right here. One of the first things I want to talk about is B12. And the reason I want to talk about B12 specifically is because B12 is that one vitamin that is going to change your mind as far as depression. Okay, a lot of people that suffer from depression can go back to being very deficient in vitamin B12. Okay, because vitamin B12 is very hard to get into your system. A lot of fortified cereals spray their foods with a vitamin B12. So that's how, if you were eating cereal, you could eat a fortified cereal with vitamin B12 on it, and you can get your vitamin B12. You could also take a supplement, but the majority of supplements that are created, 90% of those supplements are actually fed to our livestock. Okay, so if we're eating grass-fed animals, and this is how grass-fed animals get their vitamin B12, is because vitamin B12 is actually in the soil. It's in the dirt. It's part of the fermenting process. So when an animal pulls up a clump of grass and it chews on it, it eats some of the dirt. Same as when chickens are pecking on the ground and they're pecking at the insects and they're pecking at worms and stuff like that, and they're eating them off the dirt. They're getting their vitamin B12. All right. And then, of course, there is vitamin B12 in meats, but we don't digest it well. We don't absorb it well. People think, well, this animal has this much vitamin B12. Okay, well, it doesn't mean that you're going to do it. Now, here's the problem. Your stomach needs to have a very good acidic strength in order for you to separate B12 from protein. All right. So if you don't have a very strong acid in your stomach, you're not going to absorb too much B12, which is why the United States tends to be very deficient in vitamin B12. Hi guys. Hi everybody. You definitely need to take a supplement. Who is that? Joni Max says, I take a super B complex vitamin every day to help prevent diabetic neuropathy. That's good. But we're going to get into the supplement part of it too and tell you how much supplement you actually need to get what you need in in a vitamin B12 recommended daily allowance. Because even if you have to have the stomach acids to absorb the B12, period. You just have to. People with bariatric surgery, where they eliminate a lot of their stomach, that prevents them from being able to absorb a lot of vitamin B12. And they're almost, if you have bariatric surgery and you are not getting a B12 booster shot, you probably need to go get one. Okay, because that's probably going to be one of your only ways of actually getting that in. It's really hard to do it with supplements, and it's almost impossible to do it with food. All right, I'm looking at both cameras, so if I look away, I just want you guys to know this. Okay. There's just Crohn's disease. Crohn's disease is another one that you're not gonna be able to digest or absorb vitamin B12. Also, one of the most prescribed and over-the-counter supplements are antacids. Okay, so if you suffer from heartburn, like Prilosec or what's that other one? I wrote it down here. I don't know where I wrote it. Nexium. There's some of the most popular brands of antacids. So a lot of people suffer from heartburn. If you suffer from heartburn, that means your stomach acids aren't really working. What those antacids are going to do, they're going to suppress some of that stomach acid. Okay, they're going to suppress it. So now you have less stomach acid. It's going to be able to help break down that protein and that B12 so that you can absorb that B12 into your intestine and everything else. So if you suffer from heartburn, which a lot of people do, you're not going to be able to absorb that B12 as easily. So I suffer from PTSD. I suffer from depression. I suffer from a lot of these things, as you guys know. And for me to not have enough B12 is detrimental to me. So I definitely advise taking a supplement of B12. Taking a supplement for sure. The amount of B12 U.S. recommended daily allowance, I think, is 2.4 micrograms, 2.4, something like that. But some of the experts actually recommend 4 to 7. Now, if you're taking a supplement, a lot of them are going to say, like, my supplement is 100 micrograms. 100. Okay, so you actually need to take probably a 250 to approximately 500 microgram of B12 in order to absorb the amount that you need. That's a lot more, but taking more vitamin B12 is not going to be detrimental to your health, as it is, like, say, with vitamin A or vitamin E or vitamin K, where you can go a little too high. Potassium, you can go a little too high, and you want to make sure that you don't hit the UL, which is the upper level of some of these vitamins, because there is some detriment to taking some vitamins in excess. All right. So let me just go over some of the vitamins real quick that we're talking about, just so you guys know. Anyway, vitamin A. A vitamin A should be 900 IUs. IUs is an international unit. A lot of the bottles will say either IU or they'll say milligrams or something like that. Now, milligrams is just is usually mg. Micrograms is mcg. Let's see. A milligram is 1,000. 1,000 milligrams is 1 gram. 1,000 micrograms is 1 milligram. I don't know how much of that. I don't know why they don't just have one unit of measure and just go with that. It would make it so much easier. It would just make it like ridiculous. Apple cider vinegar is definitely good. That is a good one to do. Hi, Bernie. Yep, Bernie's trying to keep. Now let me just read off some of these that I have. Vitamin B, U.S. recommended daily allowance is 900 IU for men, 900 for men, and 700 for women. Okay, so look at your bottles. If you're doing a supplement, look at the content of that. Okay, now all of these that I'm recommending here, all of these numbers are going to be in combination with food. So don't assume that your food doesn't have any of these vitamins in it. You want to try to take some supplementation through your supplements, but the best way to get it is through your diet. Okay. Let me see. Vitamin B12. U.S. recommended, like I said, is 2.4 mcg, but others often say 4 to 7 mcg. I might have said milligrams on my B12. It's supposed to be mcg. Joni Mack, I think right there, she just commented the B12 her supplement is 100 mcg. So that you should actually be doing at least 3 of those every 12 hours. That's like 2.5 every 12 hours. That's 250. That's according to the experts. All right. Anyway, so vitamin C. It's going to be between 60 milligrams to 90 milligrams. Okay. Women should usually be around 75 milligrams. Well, Vicky, I think you had an issue with commenting, so I think you might have resolved that, unless you're not looking at the YouTube version. Anyway, let me go on. Vitamin D. Here's a good one. Vitamin D will either say 600 IUs to 800 IUs, or you can go, if you're less than 70 years old, you want to do 15 micrograms. If you are greater than that, you want to do about 20 micrograms of vitamin D. That's vitamin D. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the best way to get these vitamin sources in, as far as vitamins, as far as foods as well. So we'll go over a lot of these things because I wrote a lot of this stuff down. Some of your your fat soluble vitamins are going to be like your vitamin E and K and stuff like this. Vitamin E should be 15 milligrams or 22.4 IUs. That's vitamin E. All right. And I'm going to tell you what these benefits are and everything. Vitamin K, for a man, 120 micrograms. And for a woman, 90 micrograms. Hope that if you need to, this is a video, so you guys can always rewatch this, do the replay, and then pause it and get all this information and write all this stuff down. Calcium is 1,000 milligrams to 1,200 milligrams a day. That's not hard. Vitamin B complex for women, 425. For men, 550. And that's milligrams. Folic acid is 400 micrograms a day. Iron is, for men, is 8 milligrams a day. Women, ages 19 to 50 years old, should get 18. If you're over 51, you only need about 8 milligrams of iron. That's it. I don't have, is it vitamin D3? I think she's correcting me on it. I've read some of that. Joni, I will have to get back to you on that. I'm not sure. I would still think that postmenopausal is probably why the difference here is. I would think that you still need some, because you guys go from women from 19 to 50, 50 being around that premenopausal stage or age. You go from 18 down to 8. So I think that these numbers are factoring in the menopausal part of for women. So you're dropping more than half of what you did need up to the age of 50 years old. Okay. Did I write iodine down? I did somewhere, I think. I don't know if I did. I didn't write iodine down. What have I? Magnesium for men, 400 to 420 milligrams a day. Women, 310 to 320 milligrams a day. I love you. Selenium is 55 milligrams a day. All right. Vitamin B6 for a man, 1.3 milligrams to 1.7 milligrams. For a woman, 1.3 to 1.5. That's for vitamin B6. Zinc. Zinc is for a man 11 milligrams. For a woman is 8 milligrams. Potassium. Potassium is 1,600 milligrams to 1,600 to 2,000 milligrams. Stay within there. Don't go over on potassium. You want to stay under. Not under, but you want to stay within that window. Okay. And like, for instance, I told other people how to get it. You just, supplementation for potassium is just awful. You're going to have to find foods that are high in potassium. All right. Let's go over some of these real quick. Vitamin B. If you're doing the carnivore diet, it's tough to get vitamin B. Okay. Because of all the ways I've already explained. And in order to, this is going to gross a lot of you people out. In order to do the carnivore diet properly, okay, you have to be willing to eat the heart, the liver, the eyeballs, you know, all the organ meats that are where all the vitamins and stuff are at. Okay. It's not just going to be in the meat itself and the fat. It's just not. You're not going to get enough vitamins and stuff out of just that. You literally are going to have to eat stuff that you might not be comfortable with eating. And believe it or not, there's a doctor. He's prominent on YouTube. He stated that you can get vitamin C from the carnivore diet through eating meat. This is somewhat true, okay? If you are willing to eat raw liver, because once you cook it, that vitamin C is gone, or fish roe. Fish roe are just mature fish eggs, and that's about it. So personally, I'm not too into liver. I'm not too into the organ meats. I'm not willing to eat eyeballs. I don't really care for fish eggs, mature fish eggs. I don't even know what that means. Like, is caviar mature fish eggs or is caviar premature fish eggs? I don't know. But I'm not willing to try either one. I've had caviar before. It's kind of disgusting. They say you put it on a cracker and, you know, I don't know, maybe you feel sophisticated or something. I'm not going to do it. But Inuit people, they talked about a lot, okay, had lower heart rate disease, which is fine. They could. I'm not saying they don't. They did. They did have lower heart rates than a lot of people. But I wrote it all down, just like they said. Inuit people survived by not eating vegetables. This is true. But they ate every part of the animal, and they ate some of it and some of it had to be eaten raw. Raw. Okay. I know some people eat sushi, raw fish with rice, or sashimi, which is just the raw fish part. I get it. Some people can eat raw fish, and I guess that's going to be part of, like raw salmon, that could be part of their vitamin C intake, I guess. But you know what? I'd rather just get my vitamin C, and we're going to jump right into that one. I'd rather get it from dark greens, broccoli, large peppers, cauliflower, green cabbage, parsley, and even a couple strawberries or blueberries and stuff like that. Okay? That's where I'd rather get my vitamin C from. I don't want to eat some sort of raw meat, raw liver. I don't want it. I'm not going to do it. Now, vitamin C, here's what it's good for. It's going to boost your absorption of iron. It's good for a common cold. We all know that. Everybody always says, oh, you got to take some vitamin C for a cold or a flu. That's normal. Decreases the risk of a UTI, urinary tract infection. I did not know that. That's pretty good information. Especially for our elderly loved ones. They tend to get UTIs quite often. So if they actually up their vitamin C, this can actually help prevent that. I read somewhere that postmenopausal women don't need calcium. Oh, it's calcium you're talking about. I don't know. I think we'll have to check on that. Or I'm sure we've got some good fact checkers that might be able to go over this as well. Yeah. That's on vitamin C. Let's go to vitamin E. Vitamin E you're going to get from nuts, greens, seeds, and oils. Okay? Oh, somebody wrote, let me see, let me read it all. Anne says, my doctor says no liver. It purifies the impurities of the blood of the animal, so do not eat liver as its contents are not always known. Well, yeah, it is a big filter, and but raw liver and the liver juices were actually used in the 1940s to cure a lot of stuff. That's why our grandparents always looked at liver as being a great health food. All right. So we always looked at liver to be some sort of great food. And I guess there is some truth to all of that. But I'm not into liver. All right, let's look at something else here. The vitamin E I was talking about. Vitamin E is an antioxidant. It's good for your immune system. It widens your blood vessels. Now, I remember my mother had blood clots in her left leg, and when I was a child, and she had it all her life. And she would have to wear those stockings, those compression stockings, and it was hard for her to walk. And then she ended up, like you guys all know, she ended up getting type 2 diabetes, congenital heart disease. She died of renal failure, all complications of a sad diet. Okay. But one of the things that she took religiously was vitamin E. I remember it being on top of the refrigerator, and they were in those little liquid capsules. And the vitamin D, I thought at the time, just thinned the blood out. But actually what it does is it widens the arteries and the blood vessels. And it helps to allow clotting from causing any buildup and blocking. So that's what vitamin E is known for. Plus, it's also helpful against fighting cancer, dementia, heart disease, liver disease, strokes, maybe, stuff like that. Okay, so vitamin E is very important. And the only place that a carnivore diet can get vitamin E is in chicken thighs. That's it. It's not in the rest of the other meats. Just chicken thighs. I don't know why, but the article was very specific. It says you're not going to get much vitamin E anywhere else but the chicken thighs, and that's it. Liver, all animals of prey eat it. That is true, Mike Yerke. Mike Yerke is I point this out a lot. When a shark attacks another fish or a mammal, or like a porpoise or even a whale, like killer whales do the same thing. They open up their prey, they'll eat the liver, and they tend to leave. Now, the smaller sharks will come along, and the smaller fish will come and pick the bones off. And that's just what they do. They're scavengers. We tend not to eat the liver anymore of our meats, or our prey, I guess we can call it. But so we're kind of like that scavenger thing. We're kind of like the vultures. That'd be nasty. Anyway, let me see. Where am I going to go to? Vitamin C. Yeah, I talked about the vitamin C. Talked about calcium a little bit. A lot of people are doing this carnivore because they want to fight the inflammation. They want weight loss. They want all these things. But a lot of these things keto already provides. So if you're just switching from keto to carnivore, thinking that you're going to get something better through carnivore that you're not getting through keto, I don't think that's 100% accurate. I made it my point not to diss carnivore. I don't want to diss it because there are some good qualities to it. There are some good benefits to the carnivore diet. But all the benefits that I found on the carnivore diet are all the same benefits that I found on the ketogenic diet when I switched from the SAD diet, the stupid American diet, to the keto diet. I found that when I stopped eating carbohydrates, the inflammation went down. And the weight went down, and the clarity kicked in, mental clarity. I noticed that my energy level after I got fat adapted also picked up. I learned that my hunger went down. My appetite was suppressed. So all of this stuff are just the same benefits that you're looking at in the carnivore diet. Now, what I will say is that the carnivore diet makes dieting very simple, because now all you're focused on is eating the meats. You're not focused on eating, how many carbs should I eat? You took that worry part out. Like, I'm not even going to think about carbs. Okay. So there's also the whole debate on, do we need fiber? And some people say when we eat vegetables, they are fiber, but we need that fiber to process the vegetables, because the vegetables are the part that end up mostly in your fecal matter. Yep, I said that. So most of your poo is vegetables, fats, other small amounts of waste. So yeah. So imagine that thought going through your head now. But so it's almost as if you're talking about the chicken and the egg thing. Do we need fiber because we eat vegetables, or do we need vegetables in order to get fiber? A lot of people on the carnivore diet believe that they don't need the fiber because they aren't eating the vegetables that need to be broken down and processed through the digestive system, and that the meats are a little bit easier through your digestive system. So the idea of utilizing fiber is not needed. I have no idea what that sound is. Oh, hold on. That's my battery and my alarm on my window. That little sound kind of disturbed my bird. Here's the shirt of the day, by the way. Love one woman and several cars. That's me. I got several cars, so it's a very fitting shirt. My name is Mike, and I'm a carboholic. Yes, you are, Mike. And I wish to God you weren't. Let's see. I do miss my buddy Mike. Mike works nights at where I work. All right. I think I wrote down everything I want. Carnivore is 50 to 85% deficient in vitamin D. Yeah. Vitamin D does help with the flu, it says, and healthy brain function. Children under 1 year old are 100% deficient of vitamin D. 100%. I didn't know that. Something to be 100%. Vitamin D helps fight cancer. 50 to 70% of all the cancers out there, vitamin D does help to fight against them. Helps to fight against diabetes. Helps to prevent premature birth by 50% for women. Vitamin D does. That's the benefit of it. Vitamin A helps vitamin D work more efficiently. So taking in vitamin A helps vitamin D work better, which is good, I guess, right? I think it also has something to do with vitamin K as well. Like if you take vitamin K, that helps vitamin A and vitamin D work more efficiently. And most carnivore people are deficient in vitamin K. These are just the facts. Place to get vitamin D, the sun, for one. The sun is a great source of vitamin D. Egg yolks is another one. And I think dairy, just dairy in general. Dairy, like cheeses and heavy whipping creams and stuff like that. Pretty high in vitamin D. One of the other differences is that the carnivore diet allows more dairy, where the ketogenic diet likes to limit the dairy because of the lactose, the sugar that's in dairy. And most ketogenic dieters don't like too much sugar in their diet, where carnivore kind of is open to it. They allow that, okay? Not the sugar itself, but a lot more dairy. So if you are a person that likes dairy and hates vegetables, maybe the carnivore diet's for you. But make sure that you are getting enough vitamins, okay? Don't let vitamin B12 get too low. Don't let your vitamin D and your A and your C, especially your C. Don't let these people that say you can get vitamin C from animal meat, because that's nonsense. I don't know too many people that are going to go out there and eat raw meat just to get vitamin C. It's just one of the most I saw this on a YouTube thing. I was just cruising through. One of the movies that was considered most unwatchable horror movie was this movie called Raw. It was about a girl who, for one reason or another, I didn't get to watch it all. She has to survive on raw meat. She just realizes, like, she's in college or something, and all of a sudden she realizes she has to survive on raw meat. So this is like an unwatchable movie. Am I still on Facebook, by the way? Can you guys let me know if I'm still there? Because nobody's really commented since Jason. I'm getting lots of comments over here on YouTube, but not many for Facebook. And I only have 6 people over here. Yep. Thumbs up. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, she ends up, her friend loses a finger, and she picks up the finger, and she realizes that her hunger is more satisfied with eating human flesh. And it's just one of those zombie movies, I guess. But it's called Raw. And the carnivore diet just kind of it just popped into my head. I was just thinking, well, wait a minute. So now the carnivore diet is kind of like, you kind of got to eat the organs and the raw meat, and in order for it to work properly. like the Inuits or like where all the vitamins and stuff are going to be at. It does sound gross. I can't eat any of that stuff cooked, let alone raw. I just didn't like it as a kid. I just don't like it as an adult, and I'm not gonna do it. I like vegetables. I like a salad. I like putting a little bit of the protein on the salad. I do like that. I like putting either tuna fish on my salad, or I like to put chicken on my salad. So, yeah, I'm okay with salads, chopped up eggs. So I just wanted you guys to understand that there's benefits to the carnivore diet, but there's also things you have to be leery of. Just make sure that you take enough vitamins. Okay. I guess that guy that did the Rogan podcast, he was a pretty big baker, something Sean Baker, maybe somebody like that, where he talked about supplementation for the carnivore diet was none. Eating plants is murder. Oh, jeez. Sean Baker, yeah, Sean Baker. He said that there were no supplements needed. And the article I read was no, because the other thing that they noticed was he hadn't had any blood work done since starting his carnivore diet, which he claims he's been doing for over a year and getting massive gains in the gym. Now, Sean Baker is a very, defined, shredded, built guy. So if carnivore is helping him, yay, maybe it'll help you too. But so will keto. Anybody that switches from a SAD diet, a standard American diet, or the stupid American diet, whatever you want to call it, and switches to a ketogenic diet or switches from a paleo diet, you're going to get those same benefits. Okay? Because I don't think it's just about eating the meats. I think it's about consuming the fats and reducing your carbohydrates. So, for everything I've told you, do your own research. Don't just immediately believe everything I'm telling you as a fact. All right? Use everything I've told you today as a guide. All right? Use it as an idea to question yourself. Always question what you hear, always. And if it sparks enough interest in you, then do your research on it and go and research it and make sure that you feel like that you understand what you're doing better. All right? Because I've always said that the more you understand something, the more successful you're going to be at it. Okay? Now, for me, I did a lot of research on the carnivore diet. It's just not for me. Okay? It's not for me. Ketogenic diet, I've done a ton of research on it, and I'm okay with it. I'm happier with it. I started out with the paleo diet, kind of. I started out years ago, like with the Atkins thing, and I've slowly progressed into the ketogenic diet. I don't ever think I will progress into a carnivore diet. I don't say it. But I'm always learning. I'm always learning new things. I'm always trying to pass on these new things to you guys. All right? So let's see if I could answer some of these questions. You guys have any questions that are still burning you right now, burning your mind? I'm very skeptical about carnivore. Jason writes, being healthy for me, I need vegetables. I agree. Elizabeth says, leave it to lions and tigers. They don't go picking berries. There was the other thing too, that just reminded me of. If you look at a true carnivore's teeth structure, their teeth structure has canines. We don't have canines really anymore. We have teeth that are called canines, but they're not definitely in the same development stage as a true canine. We're not meant to actually tear into flesh and rip it apart with our teeth, which is why stick knives and stuff like that came out. Somebody invented them. Our teeth are more have a grinding effect, more like the vegetable part. Now, true, you need to digest or chew your food as far as meats and everything else too. But our teeth really resemble those of an omnivore more than they do of a carnivore. So if you want to look at evolution, or you want to look at basic what a person is made up of, it looks like we're made up to be more of an omnivore, a person that eats some flesh for protein and that eats some vegetables for the vitamins, and we just kind of have our own little way of eating. You're welcome, Ann. Thank you. I just wanted to get that out there. My next cooking one, by the way, is going to be Italian meatballs with a little catch to it. And you'll have to watch that video to see what that's going to be. All right. I don't think that video is going to be tonight. I think that video is probably going to be for tomorrow. So we'll decide then. All right. Hopefully, I'll get all my ingredients tonight, and then I'll make that video tomorrow, and hopefully you guys like it. All right. All right. Thanks everybody for showing up. If you haven't already, hit the thumbs up, hit the like button, do whatever you can. Especially on Facebook. I know there's a little arrow button, or one of these ones has a little like button with all the little things go up. That helps. Yeah, the little thumbs up that somebody's doing right now. I guess the more thumbs up and likes and hearts you get on that, the higher your your algorithm works out, and the more Facebook will send that out. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging in there with me. I really appreciate everybody. I'm even getting some laughs over there. That's good. All right. Thanks, everybody. I will cut the YouTube one, and I will cut this one. Have a good day, guys.